ask Lauren to make the regular announcements.
The purpose and function of the Jacksonville Beach Special Magistrate hearing in accordance with Florida Statutes, Chapter 162, and the City of Jacksonville Beach Code of Ordinances is to reach an equitable expedition to enforce the codes. The city presents the violation and evidence to the special magistrate. Next, the property owner is sworn in and responds to the violation and evidence. Both the city and the property owner may call witnesses to provide sworn testimony relevant to the case. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, not a public forum. Individuals not called as sworn witnesses will not be heard.
Thank you very much. First on the agenda is case number 24-224, Stanley R. Sanford Enterprises, Inc. and Champion Cycle, Inc. We'll start with Ms. Beavers, and if you would, Ms. Laurie, please swear in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and position.
Nikki Weaver, City of Jacksonville Beach Code Enforcement Officer.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Yes, we will start with case number 24224. This is for Stanley R. Sanford Enterprises Incorporated and Champion Cycling Incorporated, located at 1303 North 3rd Street. This is in reference to outdoor display of merchandise. As listed, the code of ordinances, section 34-342, B, C, and D, and section 34-3116. Exhibit A shows what the previous violations were of the merchandise at the cycling shop, showing bike rentals, bikes that were also for sale being stored outside. And these were just all old pictures, as you can see. The last picture, which was taken today, shows that the property owners have come into compliance and the bicycles have been removed and stored inside.
Thank you very much. Do you have a recommendation at this time?
Yes, my recommendation would be for the property owners to remain in compliance and to close the case today.
Okay. Is anyone else here to speak to this Stanley R. Sanford Enterprises and Champion Cycle, Inc., case number 24-224?
Yeah.
If you would, please state your name and allow and be sworn in.
Philip Foreman.
And,
Brian Corcoran.
and please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your address.
Could you repeat the question?
Please state your address.
1303 North 3rd Street, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. 32255, excuse me.
13584 Picarsa Drive, Jacksonville, Florida, 32225.
Thank you.
Excuse me, are you asking for my personal address or the property address in question?
The property address is one.
Okay.
Thank you. You may proceed. Whoever wants to speak first.
Okay, so in the original hearing, she had documentation, Ms. Beavers, of us having our rental bikes and repairs out from the 15th, where we actually have photographic documentation where we've had it out since 2009. And I can show you that documentation. So we've been doing this since 2009. So for, 15 years now, there's been no enforcement of the law. So I'm still trying to understand why, for this amount of time, we've actually been doing it for close to 35 years since we've opened our business there. And we do employ a number of people, and this is greatly affecting our livelihood here, as well as our sales in our shop with the rentals and the repairs, which could lead to us laying off employees. This is something that, again, we have been allowed to do this now for over 15 years, and I just don't understand how it's now going to be enforced upon us.
Okay, Mr. Corcoran, do you want to add anything?
And then, you know, to kind of reiterate what Phil's saying, you know, number one, you know, Ms. Beavers with the photos of our rental bikes and repair bikes, customers' bikes. You know, this is going to affect our small business to the tune of about $50,000 a year. We were forced to sell our rental bikes because we cannot store them inside during, you know, operating hours. Of course, we bring them in after we close. But again, I had to sell all my rental bikes, and again, that's a huge chunk of, you know, trying to stay in business. You know, being a bike shop owner for, you know, working there for over 35 years, you know, when a consumer comes in to bring in a repair, like a car, you know, 9 out of 10 times, you got to come back in 2 or 3 days to get your bike or your car, or, you know, initially, you know, 6-8 months ago, we did have a couple of retail bikes out front. And once she notified that we couldn't do that, we didn't put retail stuff outside. Those were all repair bikes. The orange and the silver bikes were my rental fleet. The rest of those bikes are consumers' products that we are repairing. The tags on the product, the customer's property, is their information. You know, their name, number, address, you know. And so she might have mistook that as retail sales. That is a consumer's repair bike. So.
Some of those, okay. Well, I think that I have to stay on my column, you know, as a special magistrate. I cannot tell you why it is that enforcement is now more active in this area of outside sales and of merchandise. But I can tell you that since I've been the special magistrate, there have been several cases brought, code enforcement cases brought for the same violation on the same grounds. Yeah. Aside from that and beyond that, I certainly understand your plight as a small business, but neither Ms. Beavers nor I are in a position to change the law. And that's actually, to respond to your concerns would take a change to the code. So,
What would that
even
entail?
though it's not my column, I do know judges often will say in their cases and their decisions that, you know, it's not for the judge to wish away a provision in a code. We, Ms. Beavers and I, are, and staff are sworn to uphold the law as it's written. What your concern is really goes to, should this be a prohibited use? And in order for that issue is really a city commission issue. And you know, it may be.
That's something we have to pursue.
That it may be that is something that you want to consider. And beyond that, I can't really speak to it, you know.
So in the code, the two codes that apparently we violated, in that code, does it specifically say retail products on display?
The way that this land development code and many land development codes are written is that it's only the uses that are identified specifically that are the permitted uses. When the provision that Ms. Beavers put up on the screen, the second one, the 34-3116, This is called the exclusivity provision. That exclusivity provision states that only the uses that are expressly identified and listed are the uses that are permitted. And anything else is a violation. So it's not that there's a whole list of things that are prohibited. The way that the code is written is that only the things that are specifically listed are those that are permitted. If it's not listed, it's not allowed.
So in those codes, it states that we cannot have rental bicycles in the parking lot in repairs.
And in fact, that's exactly what the code says. So, now, I'd like to move to Ms. Beaver's recommendation. She finds you in compliance, and she's recommending that the case be closed. You know, there has been a violation, and it will add the, she's also recommended that the order say that you need to stay in compliance. So with that, I don't have any, do you have anything else that you would like to add?
Why has it taken 15 years? I mean, why are we having this essential right taken away from us? Because we have given us this right for this amount of time. And now this right has been taken away from us, in my opinion, even though you have this code written. No one from Jacksonville Beach has enforced this code since we opened that business. And we opened that business in the mid-'80s.
I think that that conversation is, as I said, neither Ms. Beavers nor I can respond to that. I believe that that's an appropriate conversation for you to have with your elected officials.
That is a conversation I will have with my elected official, because this is wrong to allow us to operate this way for this amount of years, and all of a sudden now it's a problem. This is wrong, and it is going to greatly affect us financially. It is going to require me to lay off employees, which are Jack's Beach residents. Everyone that works there lives here at the beach. So this enforcement is going to make me fire somebody.
And that again, those are the kinds of things that, in my experience, are very important to elected officials. So I think that your concerns, you know, are certainly relevant and valid. And I do think that your elected officials would be the right venue for you to pursue your concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate both of you being here today. Ms. Beavers, do you have anything else you
I
want to
have
add?
nothing further.
Well, I will write an order saying that you're in compliance based upon the evidence that Ms. Beavers produced in her testimony, and that it will also say that you need to stay in compliance. So,
Okay,
thank you very much.
all right.
Okay, moving to the next on agenda B, case number 2362, ACA Investments LLC. We are at 412 North 7th Street. This is in regards to a building permit not being obtained for an accessory structure. As you can see, there is a Connex container on the right-hand side that was built for an outdoor seating area. This has been an ongoing case. As you can see, once the property owner was cited and notified of where the container could be moved to, he did obtain the proper permits and began the process of moving the container, starting with the foundation here. This was the container again. But the container has been moved to the appropriate location. Mr. Middlebrooks is in compliance. He just had his framing, inspection on October 1st. And the only thing left for him to do is to get his final inspection, but he is in compliance. Not sure why that picture got deleted. No, that is where it's moved to. I'm looking at it the wrong way. That is where it's moved to, yeah.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
In, I believe back in June, at the June hearing, that I understood that that all the building permits had been obtained for the shipping container and the pavers, but that the additional time was needed to obtain the final certificate of completion. Are you, and that as a result, I ordered that he must obtain the final inspection and certificate of completion from the city by September 30th, which was the date that the building permit expired. Are you saying that we still don't have a final inspection?
We do not. So when I did speak with the building inspectors, it has been an ongoing process. So like I said, the last inspection was on October 1st for the framing. But they did specify that everything is in compliance. I can let Mr. Middlebrooks speak a little bit more in regards to when the final inspection will be scheduled.
Okay. You're not aware when that's going to occur?
As far as the
Final inspection and
no,
certificate of completion?
the building inspectors did not have that information at this time. And I spoke with them today in regards to where they were on the completion of the project.
Okay, so they don't know when it's gonna happen?
No, it's gonna be up to Mr. Middlebrooks to notify them
Okay,
and schedule the inspection.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Is Mr. Middlebrook here? Oh. Hi. Please state your name and be sworn in.
Chris Middlebrooks.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your address.
1012 10th Street North, Jacksonville Beach, 32250.
So I have two questions. One about the final inspection certificate of completion. And then the second question I have, which I probably should have asked Ms. Beavers about this also, was that in regards to the pavers. So if you could, maybe you can speak to both of those.
The papers were fine.
Well, at the time, we did not know whether or not it was going to exceed the
The lot
impervious
coverage.
surface.
Mhm.
So I need to have testimony in regards to that.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. So everything is in compliance. The lot coverage survey has already been completed. Once the shipping container was moved onto the slab, it shows that I'm within all of my setbacks, and my allowed lot coverage was 35%. I'm at, I think, 34.1%. So the only thing pending on this entire case is the final building inspection. The reason, and my interpretation of our last meeting was that it needed to be closed out before the building permit expires. The way that the building permit here does it with a building permit is you're required to get an inspection before that expiration date. Every time you get an inspection, you pass that inspection, it extends out the permit cancellation date, termination date. The only thing that I've passed every inspection. The only thing that is left pending to get a final inspection is brackets that are to secure the shipping container to that slab. So 100% of the construction is done. I just need brackets to secure it to the slab. It just so happens that they have to be custom fabricated brackets, and so we're just waiting for the brackets.
Have you ordered the brackets?
Well, we just got the quote for the brackets. I think it could have been, it might have been yesterday, but it was after 5 o'clock, which were an astronomically high price. I called the engineer that did the engineering that I used to get the permit this morning to see if there were any other options. Along the way, we've had to do modifications because it's a shipping container. It's not a straightforward kind of construction building process. So he's worked with us the whole way as we've run into construction issues and needed to revise the engineering because he's never engineered a shipping container before either. So I'm just waiting for him to call me back, and as soon as we decide, either I have to bite the bullet and pay the $3,500 brackets, or he will revise the plans and I will use the revised brackets. If it's a revised bracket thing, as soon as I order them and get them, if it's usually something that's like not a custom fabrication, a few weeks tops. If I have to use the brackets, the custom fabricated brackets, I think that's about a 3-week process too. So I would think 1 month we should have one way or the other a closed out building permit, because the bracket is the only thing that's left to finalize that.
Well, in light of the fact that you have been making progress each time that you've come before me, there has been progress. I'm not prepared to close out the case. I won't do that until there actually is the final inspection and the certificate of completion issued to be, consistent with my prior orders. So, but in light of the fact that you are continuing to, in good faith, to make progress, I certainly take that as that you're making progress. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, I believe that we have a hearing set. Our next hearing is set for December 4th. Would it be possible to add this item to that as just basically, if I gave Mr. Middlebrook until December the 4th to get that, would it be possible to add that to the agenda, Ms. Beavers?
Yes, it is possible. Based upon what he just stated in regards to the brackets he can get in 3 weeks, or the ones that's going to be custom made, do you think even the custom made would be by December 4th or January?
We could do January.
We can do January.
January would be more comfortable because it's kind of that part of the time on my hands, so I've never ordered, it's just that it's a custom thing, so I'd be at their mercy.
Yes, I understand that. Ms. Luria, do you know the date of the January hearing?
It'll be January 22nd.
January 22nd. Is that, Ms. Beavers, is that acceptable to you?
That is.
And Mr. Middlebrook, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so we will, I'll basically issue a similar order. I'll take out the fact about the papers, since based upon the evidence, or the testimony, I should say, you both have said that that is in compliance.
Correct.
So I'll remove that provision that's in the order and just basically provide that you have until January 22nd of 2025 to obtain the final inspection and certificate of completion. So thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes everything I have for today. Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Time to go.
Is very much.